So you were just saying that Bon Bon really likes ska music.
Bon Bon was listening to some Bowling for Soup initially in my office while I was working.
Oh my God!
How are animals real? Bum, bum, bum. How are animals real?
So we're here with Frieden from Clear Animal Rescue, and we're also here with Bon Bon, who is a green cheek conure. And tell us a little bit about Bon Bon, how you two met.
Well, Bon Bon came to the rescue as a relinquishment from someone who cared for her very, very much. So when Bon Bon went into fostering, she just flourished, and she was so great and friendly and immediately took attention from everyone. I got to go meet her. I really thought her foster mom was going to be like, yes, I'm going to adopt this bird. And they had such a great relationship. And I was so excited because the week of my birthday last year, I found out that Bon Bon would like to come live with me.
Oh.
She's such a funky little dinosaur.
She is a little dinosaur. You are a little dinosaur.
You gonna get more? Will you pick me up? Oh my gosh, I was so afraid of birds. I had a partner who had a green cheek conure, and I didn't realize that. I went to their house and he's like, oh, do you want me to bring him out? I was like, no, he's cool. He's cool. He looks comfortable in there. It was height of COVID, people just starting to travel things, and he got exposed to COVID. So he wasn't able to fly back for 2 weeks, and I was so worried about this bird. I was like, he can't stay there by himself for weeks, right? And then I had to come clean, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna level with you. I'm terrified of that bird. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what we can do about it now, but and it took 45 minutes to get him into the carrier, because I was like, how do you handle something so small and breakable?
Sure.
And I probably stress cried a bunch. And then I messaged a friend of mine that I was like, hey, I know you do bird rescue. Mm-hmm. What can you tell me about taking care of a parrot I'm afraid of? So then I got to speak to Jessica.
Jessica from Clear Animal Rescue.
And you came over and you brought enrichment and you brought proper cage stuff. Then I fostered my first parakeet because I was like, well, do you think I'm ready for that? And she's like, yeah, you're ready for that.
You were saying, how do you deal with something so fragile? But they're walking around with little knives on their feet, knives on their face. So I understand being afraid at first. But hello, you're not scary.
She's not. She's a sweet baby.
Oh yeah, can you show us how she likes to cuddle on your Yeah, there we go.
She had some poop on her tail, don't look.
It's okay. Don't be embarrassed.
Well, this was only possible because of adoption. Mm-hmm. So I would probably always recommend that people adopt and not shop.
Yeah.
So we are very small. We are a boutique rescue. Mm-hmm. Our goal is to have around 12 residents at a time, but I'll say if we keep it under 20, we're doing great. I had 17 birds in my house in October.
Oh my goodness.
So it was
all very small.
Okay.
Yeah, it was it was many, many finches. But the thing about us is, we're not trying to see how many rescues we can take at a time. What we want to do is make sure that each of those animals gets the proper socialization and enrichment and care and food, and they have the right kind of habitat, and they're getting everything they need. Yeah. So keeping our numbers smaller really lets us do that in a way that I haven't seen. And the more time you spend with them, the more information you have to give a prospective adopter.
That's a really good point.
I think that leads to success in adoption. Fosters come to my house, we visit, they visit with the animal. They can make a choice then, or they can come back. We never want to rush it. It should take time.
Yeah, of course. Hi. So you were just saying that Bon Bon really likes ska music.
She does.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? How did you discover that?
Bon Bon was listening to some Bowling for Soup initially in my office while I was working. And she likes Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish.
Mm-hmm. Classics.
But she likes to bop around. So she enjoys that syncopated trombone.
Ska is good for if you like bopping around.
Do you want to listen to your song, Bon Bon?
Yeah, let's listen to some music. This is the best day of my life.
I'm glad that you decided to do it, like, in front of people. I mean, sometimes you're like, oh, I swear they do this thing.
I know, it's like the WB frog of like, it was just dancing.
In general, you see she wants a lot of touch and stuff. And I found that, like, with the other parrots that have come and stayed with me, that is not always the case. So this was just, like, the nicest change of pace. I was like, I've never met a bird this friendly.
Yeah, it kind of seems like Bon Bon needs to find the way to be the closest possible to you at all times.
Yeah, and that's how it is at home too. But she needed that because her people were home all the time, and she got feedback all the time. So like going from that amount of enrichment to like way less can sometimes result in behavioral problems and stress or plucking or just a myriad of other things. And I've just been so lucky that was not the case.
She has been on your shoulder or like on you at all times since we've been here, which is just like the cutest, sweetest little thing.
I really like that we bonded in a way that we can spend lots of time together and she can get the enrichment she wants and needs.
Do you remember like any like building block moments where you're like, oh, this is a breakthrough?
When I came to visit her at the foster home, she wouldn't let the foster mom take her off me. She bit her foster mom, which is, I guess, like the first time she did that. And I was like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
And it was after that visit a few days later that Jessica reached out to me and said, would you like to adopt her?
And you were like, I think we had a moment. I think we've bonded.
And this is how she'll go places with me when she's trimmed. And I have to take her somewhere in the car. Usually once the car is all closed up, she likes to sit in my shirt and like watch me drive. Or she'll sit on the steering wheel and like quack at things, which I also really enjoy. But she likes to go places. She was excited to be here. She's looking around. Not all animals are like that. There are places that I can take her to get additional socialization. So we've gone to Goblin Market, which is a manga and bookstore here in Chicago. And I just call a place up and I say, what is your non-mammalia patron policy? And usually they're like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, well, I have an education ambassador bird who like needs to be around sounds and stuff. And usually they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you. I love the way they hold the food.
Yeah, like a little person.
Just
their
like
peats.
a little person.
With their parrot feets.
Their little feet. I was telling Jessica, like, the feeling of, like, little bird feet on your finger. Like, there's just nothing like it.
I feel like I'm being a good human when a bird trusts me.
Right?
That's the thing.